Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. Tom Leach along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman, as we take a look at the Friday card. We'll handicap the Grade 3 Pin Oak Valley View for 3-year-old fillies at 1 mile and a 16th on the turf, and also take a look at the late pick 4 as we do this podcast for every day of the fall meet. So, Jim, let's go to the Grade 3 Pin Oak Valley View. How do you see it?
Tough race. 14 horses. Nice to have a big full field in the Pin Oak. And I went with a horse on the outside named Daring Dancer, who scratched out last week for Grand Motion. If the turf is soft, I'm not sure that she'll run in here, but and we're experiencing rain here as we tape this on Thursday. So let's hope that Friday's weather is going to be beautiful. So hopefully the turf course will dry out. Daring Dancer ran in the Sands Point behind Ball Dancing, who came back and almost won last week. Excellence and Sea Queen also ran well. So I think off that race, Grand Motion could have this filly ready. And Daring Dancer is my choice. I'm also going to use Miss Frost for Thomas Albertrani. Size is an intriguing horse for me. First time on the turf. She was very competitive in a couple of stakes races earlier this year and won the Iowa Oaks at Prairie Meadows. So they've kind of a strange pattern here for Bill Mott. He's running her at 1.25 miles in the Alabama. She didn't do any good. They came back and shortened her up to 7 furlongs at Charlestown, and Charlestown Oaks didn't do any good. So now they're going to try turf. Maybe First Samurai, Giants Causeway, maybe she'll like the turf. So Size is intriguing to me. Rosalind's intriguing to me, who also ran the Belmont Oaks on turf for her second try in turf behind Minaret. She was competitive last year and actually won the Ashland on the poly track here. So it's going to be interesting to see how Kenny McPeak's horse comes into this race. But Daring Dancer is my pick. I would take Miss Frost, Size, and Rosalind, and probably put all in there. Fashion Fund is intriguing also at 5-1 for Joel Rosario.
Yeah, I think this is a race. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a big price in here, because you've got some horses that are not real wild, I think, about the soft turf, and you've got some of the stronger contenders who are drawn out on the outside in 1 mile and a 16th race, who risk being hung wide going into that first turn. So I'm really kind of stumped. I'm going to take a shot with a horse who didn't run well on soft turf last time, but supposed to stop. The rain was supposed to stop Thursday afternoon and be beautiful on Friday. So turf course drains well. So I'm going to go with Stellaris, second in a Grade 1 out at Del Mar. Has good speed. And, again, concerned about the soft turf, so I would definitely want to spread out in this race in the horizontal wagers. But I'm going to take Stellaris mainly because much better draw than the others. Two of the others I like in here, which is Daring Dancer, the one you like, the 12, the 14, a little bit sassy, who ran well here in the spring. And then I'm going to include a couple of prices in here, spring included, the 1, and Fashion Fund, the 5, and maybe just do a 5-horse exacta box on those 5 as far as a wager on the Valley View, and hope that you get a big price in there with one of them. But I think this is a race that wouldn't be surprised to see a big price hit in this race with one of these horses like a Spring Included or a Sparkling Review, horses that are big prices that are lightly raced and really getting good. Late pick 4 starts in the 7th race, and I wanted to go deep in every race, so I had to pare down somewhere, so I decided to do it here and take just 2 horses. The pick is a slight nod to Etheridge. DeVito's very good with 2-year-olds, and this one has a really sharp work on October 5th on the Keeneland track. And then Tootsie Rules, also working well. I'm going to take those 2 in the 7th. Then in the 8th race, my pick for the website page was Soft Whisper, the 5, but also would use Interest Free, the 4, and I Like Candy, the 2. The 9th, I'm going to use all the ones that I mentioned, 1, 5, 6, 12, and 14, and throw in the 2 as well. And then in the last race, my pick's Hurricane Layla, but I also want to use DeVoe Street, Anna from Indiana, and Aldara. DeVoe Street, I think I just like on form, but I'm not sure with that off-the-pace running style if she can get there or he can get there. So I'm going to spread out in that race. So how do you see the late pick 4?
Well, on the first race, it was really easy. 8 first-time starters, they all look, you can make a case for all of them. I'm going to do all. So that's 8 horses in the first race without even handicapping. I'm going to put all the first-time starters in there. Second race, I started to single I Like Candy for Graham Motion, the 2-horse, and I still may do that to cut the ticket down, but I also like Flower Spell. Ingrid Mason won her first 2 races at Keeneland here, and Giroux rode those 2 horses, so I got to put those 2 in. So I'm going to take all with 2-3. Then in the Pinot Valley View, I would use Size, the 3, Rosalind, the 4, Fashion Fun, the 5, and then on the outside, I would use Miss Frost, the 11, Daring Dancer, the 12, and throw in a little bit Sassy, the 14. So going 16th there. And I'm going to take a stand in the last race with Defoe Street. I'm going to say that Nasser is going to have her ready, and she will be able to finish at the 6.5 furlong distance and run these fillies down. So that would be all with 2-3 with 6 horses with Defoe Street, the 4, singled in the last race.
That's it for the Friday card at Keeneland. We'll be back with another edition of this podcast for Saturday's card, which is headlined by the Lexus Raven Run. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach, and that's the In the Money podcast on KeenelandSelect.com.